What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us today. Yet another edition of Throwback Thursday. Jeff, I know you've been enjoying the content as much as I've been enjoying digging through and putting it all up and together.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I was trepidatious watching this, especially my stuff. I hate watching my stuff, you know that. But it's been interesting to go back and watch it because, as I said, I become less of a dick as the shows go on Talk Wrestling, which is thank God I did because the first show was so bad. But man, you have been like reaching into the vault, man. I almost feel like I want to grab Mickey Mouse on SNL. I'm like, no, protect the content. They didn't sell. So man, such good stuff to watch, and today is no exception, sir.
Yes, thank you once again to Aaron Rift of the NoDQ YouTube channel, James Hebert of the JH95/FTW Productions, Noel Foster from the Simple Man brand, and of course, you, good sir, for the
Yes.
Jeff Meacham Network, for allowing me access to all the content that was previously discussed in private
Yes.
amongst all of you guys, because there are limitations about what can and can't be posted, but
Yeah, unfortunately.
especially a big thank you once again to Aaron Rift for allowing me access to the no DQ stuff. That stuff has really helped make the process and the Throwback Thursdays succeed and thrive, I think.
Absolutely.
Sit back, relax, everybody, enjoy as we bring to you yet another week of Throwback Thursday content.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
Hello fans, welcome to episode 21 of Talk Wrestling here on NoDQ.com, MySpace.com, and YouTube. Thank you for the many responses we got on YouTube the last show. We had a lot of comments, mostly positive. Yay, I was so happy. Not a lot of negativity. We had one guy said, how come you think you're hot shit? And Aaron came right back, it's cool to pretend you're hot. That is awesome. Good job, Aaron. I love it. That's great. And how do you get to meet wrestlers? You call them, you ask them, you want to be on the show. That's how we got over 75 people to be on XMV and Extreme Mayhem and Rob on this show and the people on Ringside Insanity, because I called and I asked, do you want to be on this show? Matter of fact, I emailed a very important person. I called and emailed a very important person this last week. They haven't got back to me yet, but if they do, biggest thing ever on any of my shows. Ever. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully it'll come through. Let's get to your questions in the meantime. Alright, this is from Blue Rain off of MySpace. Was there ever a point in time when you thought WCW would win the Monday Night War? You know, I like that question. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if I ever thought that one company or the other would go out of business. And that's the only way the Monday Night War would truly end, in my opinion, is if one company went out of business. So, it surprised me when the WWF bought WCW back in March 2001. You notice I'm wearing the WCW shirt that WWE put out back in 2001. I think I'm like the only one that ever actually bought one of these shirts, because I was rooting for the Alliance. I was like, go Alliance, beat Vince, beat them down, yes. I'm a very sad person, you see. No. So, I didn't think that WCW would ever win the Monday Night War, because I knew that at some point the WWF would come back and give them a run for their money again. But like I said, I didn't think that either company would go out of business completely. That surprised me when WCW was purchased from AOL Time Warner. That surprised me. But I didn't see a future without WWF or WCW. I didn't see that happening. And now we're in that situation now. We have TNA and WWE, but WCW's been gone for 7 years now, and it still boggles my mind that we're sitting here without WCW around. And granted, for the last 2 years of their existence, they were kind of dead anyway, because they hadn't won a battle in the Monday Night War since October of 1998, and that's only because they put a pay-per-view main event on Nitro. That's the only reason they got that win, because they rebroadcast Goldberg versus Page from Halloween Havoc on Nitro, much to the chagrin of the cable providers. But no, I didn't see WCW ever winning the Monday Night Wars. I knew that Vince would come back and take over again and eventually succeed. Like I said, I didn't see him buying the company, but I did see him succeeding over WCW. This is from Nick Metler off of Yahoo.com, off my Yahoo email. Do you think Nick Hogan will ever be in WWE? Do you think his going to jail has ruined his chances? Well, I wasn't sure how bad it was until I saw the picture of John Graziano that NoDQ.com posted. That kid is going to be permanently just in a very sad state, and I think Nick Hogan's involvement in that is going to forever haunt him. He's only going to spend 8 months in jail, but that's going to haunt him the rest of his life, and I don't think the WWE is going to want to hire him based on his track record and based on the fact that he's Hulk Hogan's son, because Hulk and Vince don't get along again right now. Hulk's starting his own company, he's doing his own thing, and it'd be very interesting to see what happens, but I don't think you'll see Nick Hogan in WWE at any time, unless Hulk Hogan and Vince make up again. So we'll see. This is from The Last Magi, or Magi, it's M-A-G-I. Say it however you want to say it. Let me know how to pronounce that, please. Who, if anyone, deserves to break Ric Flair's world title record? Well, as I established in my blog, it's 20 times as world champion, not 16. The closest right now is a tie between Hulk Hogan and Triple H. They both have 12. Triple H has 7 WWE titles and 5 world titles. Hogan has 6 of each, WWF and WCW. Hogan is pretty much retired from wrestling, so you're not going to see him win another 8 world titles. And honestly, I don't think Triple H should be losing the world title that much to win it back 8 times. He should be a long-term champion. As much as people say, oh, Triple H is this because he married Stephanie, Triple H was getting pushed in 1997, 1998, and the early part of 1999, and into the summer of 99, before he and Stephanie officially hooked up as a couple. Okay? They didn't become an on-screen couple until December of 1999. Triple H was WWF champion in August of 99. So for 5 months before that, or 4 months before that, he was already the man. So for anybody that says that Triple H doesn't deserve it, that's bullshit. He totally deserves it. Is he going to eclipse Ric Flair's record? I don't think so. If they counted the 16, maybe. But I don't see Triple H losing and regaining the world title, the WWE title, 4 more times in his career before he hangs it up. Okay, now the guy's name on his email said it was Bob Hope. Bob Hope's been dead for a few years, so I doubt it's actually Bob Hope. So I'm going to read off his email. It's r131891@yahoo.com. What do you think of Ron Killings and Chris Harris going to WWE? I don't know. I haven't seen them on TV yet. I hear they're both in dark matches. I hear they're doing well in their dark matches. I hear Killings using his TNA music, which TNA's gonna love. But I haven't seen either one of them perform on WWE television yet. So until they perform on TV, they're not really there. They're just kind of like off in the background going, yeah, hi, we got signed and we're wrestling dark matches, but we're not really here. So ask me again when they're on television. I will be more than happy to answer that question. Our old buddy Cactus Capo wants to know, what do I think about the SoCal Val and Black Machismo Jay Lethal marriage mirroring Randy Savage and Liz? Well, we haven't seen the marriage yet. The wedding's not until this Sunday on pay-per-view at Slammiversary. No, next Sunday. 10 days, 9 days, whatever it was from Impact. 9 days. It was 10 days on Impact, and not that much. But it's been very interesting to see her respond to his different posts with the "oh yeah" like Liz did. That was cool. A lot of people don't like SoCal Val, including someone very close to me. But I like Val. I've always liked Val, and I like Jay Lethal. I think it's a funny relationship. I think it's cute that they're totally mirroring Randy Savage and Elizabeth. It'll be interesting to see if they have a snake at the reception come out of one of the gift boxes, and Jake the Snake should be there. Jake the Snake should totally crash that wedding just like he did 17 years ago at SummerSlam. That would be the best thing ever. And have Brian Lee impersonate the Undertaker and interfere with Jake the Snake. That would be the ultimate thing for me. I'm just saying. Dixie, make it happen. Jarrett, make it happen. I think it's funny, but I think it's short-term at best. They've carried this on for months. It's bound to end sooner or later. And Sunday's going to turn heel eventually. Sunday Dutt's got to turn heel on Lethal eventually. This is from Josh Lee. Do you think Sting will get a final world title run in TNA since he's retiring soon? Or do you think he'll get a Ric Flair-like send-off in the Impact Zone? In the Impact Zone, on Impact. The Flair-like send-off, I don't see happening, strictly because most of the people that Sting regards as his longtime friends, don't work for TNA. And, if it were me, I'd want Ric Flair there. Sting couldn't be at Ric Flair's, I want Ric Flair's at Sting's. But I think Flair still works for WWE in some capacity as like a public relations advisor or a public relations representative or something, because he accepted that award from the military. So I don't see him going to TNA to recognize Sting. You'll see guys like Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner and, all those guys. But maybe Luger, Bagwell, Sting's family, of course. So it's feasible, but I don't see TNA doing something like that. As much as Sting means to the company, I don't see them doing that, because I don't think TNA, as much as they were part of the NWA and they represented the NWA championship for so long, it seems to me they don't really care about tradition. That's just what I see. Just what I see. As far as a world title run, that's also very unlikely. Excuse me. It's not like The Undertaker getting a Lifetime Achievement Award type World Championship run where he gets his last run before he retires. Sting got that. He was TNA champion for a couple weeks. He was NWA champion for a little while. He beat Jeff Jarrett and he beat Kurt Angle, respectively. I don't see him getting another world title run in TNA unless TNA really wants to do something drastic and really make people go, what the hell? That may be a possibility. And this was from Alex. Who will replace Regal as the general manager of Raw now that he's been suspended? And do you think he'll ever be GM when he gets back? Regal's another one like Jeff Hardy, who had all the makings of a huge run and blew it. With whatever drugs he was using, whatever performance enhancers he was using, whatever ended up happening with him, he blew his opportunity. He was getting the biggest push of his career since he was in WCW as a television champion. And that's been, he was WCW TV champion, I think, like 14 years ago or 15 years ago. Something like that. So, yeah, I remember he was feuding with Larry Zbyszko. That's toward the end of that run. Regal had all the potential in the world to be a great King of the Ring and a great general manager of Raw, and he's blown it now. It'll be interesting to see who replaces him. Teddy Long's a big candidate. The $1 Million Man's a big candidate. But with DiBiase kind of guiding his son's career, don't know if that's going to happen. Teddy Long's an obvious choice. Vince can always step in and run Raw for a while. And if Regal comes back, they may rehire him as general manager of Raw. So we'll see what happens. From Jacob Dodd off my Yahoo email. Will Matt or Jeff Hardy ever get a world title run? WWE or World Heavyweight Championship? I think the closest they came, either one of them, was Jeff in his push earlier this year and late last year. And he went and screwed that up by getting suspended. I don't think you'll see either of the Hardys anywhere near the world title. Matt may get a shot as U.S. champion against the world champion, whoever that may be, after one night stand. But I don't see Matt becoming the world champion. I don't see Jeff becoming the WWE champion. I just don't see it as very likely. I like the Hardys. I've liked the Hardys for a long time. I go back and forth with them, but I've liked the Hardys mostly, for the most part, the last, whatever it's been, 8-9 years now that they've been around, 10 years even. 10 years, something like that. But I don't see them, either of them, as world champions. The closest to a world championship run they got, like I said, was Jeff Hardy when his push earlier this year, and when Lita was part of the team when she was women's champion. That's it. Thanks everybody for watching today. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it was kind of short, but that's what it's going to be from now on, short and sweet. I don't have the wind to do long shows anymore. For those of you looking for a rant, what can I rant on? I'll think of something for next show. I'll rant on that. How about that? I'll rant on the next show, I promise. See you next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
Welcome, ladies and... Can we do it again?
Nah, fuck it, dude.
Keep going.
We're fucking live.
Yeah, we're live. Like
It's the alcohol. It's all good.
I feel like Sid cussing out, and then he's like, "Can we start all over?" Me and Gene's like, "We're live, brother." Anyways, sorry, Marks, UC Nation or whatever young fans you are.
Back on the soapbox again, Ray. Goddamn.
Hey, this is the Renegade of Wrestling.
According to Kazarni, the term mark is just as bad as the N-word.
And according to me, Kazarni, if Vince hadn't showed me him just for a second, I wouldn't even knew he fucking existed.
Oh.
So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Lady Killer
Love you,
and
Sid.
WWE stockholder Ray Larkin. But you already know that because the thousands of you who watch, you watch it for people like myself. And I'm honored today to be here with the Renegade of Wrestling.
I apologize for
JJ
biting your gimmick, but you know
That's
what?
why you're getting a little bit of like teeth grinding from me, but JJ Williams. But you already know that.
And to be fair, my teeth are grinding because I'm drunk.
Yes. And this is Drunk Jeff. No, not PW. What is it? Oh, I'm
This
sorry.
is
TW. I'm sorry, Aaron. I said PW. Oh, I'm sorry.
Speaking of Aaron, I love how we're in Vegas and Mike calls me Nagel, not Stat Boy, and so wants to get together. But fucking Beth is like, I'm leaving out of town. Fuck y'all. So couldn't say
Shout
that.
out to Beth.
No shout to Beth. No. She don't.
Now you're just taking on.
Now you're just causing shit. Now you're just causing shit.
Wait. You
It
can't.
is my show.
But you're reading off my script, and I'm reading off your script. That's why I'm botching all the lines like a fucking Sin Cara entrance, man. What the
Oh!
And I have no script. I'm off the cuff, bitches.
fuck, man? Yeah. Shit.
Are you shooting, Jeff?
Man, you guys are making me feel like a fucking deer in a Shawn Michaels reality TV show. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm dying out here, man. What the fuck?
I
man?
can't gratuitous walk off, so I'm gonna crawl off. All right.
He's gonna crawl up.
I'm
Now
gonna
he's just vomiting.
Now I'm just puking.
So
I'm puking on the floor.
anyways,
I'm puking.
Now he's doing a Crash Holly impersonation.
Oh!
What? Is it too soon? Too soon?
It's been 8 years, but it's still too soon.
Too soon, okay.
Anyways, before we start to get way too clusterfucky on this episode too,
Okay.
okay,
Put the guns on.
let's go ahead and let's dive into the second episode of Raw. It's coming to us live in Las Vegas, Nevada, baby.
Mikey, shoot Vegas.
It's too dark.
Shoot the millions of people going to their homes, going to their iPods, going to their mobile devices to watch Dads on Wrestling right now. Jeff, don't jump out the window.
No,
I'm trying to open the window so I can say hi to Vegas.
I can't because
Okay.
it's a reflection. I got a shot at me.
Okay,
Keep going.
So, anyways, the second episode.
So you saw Mikey today. Yeah. Okay. Go.
The second episode of Raw started pretty much with what ended the first Raw. We started with the Punk suspension. And
John
lo and behold,
comes out-
who comes
Oh,
out to
man.
start the show? John Cena.
Walking out angrily. Oh, hating his
There was
heart.
no salutes. There was no. He power walked to the ring.
He was pissed the fuck off.
Shoot or not, that shit was awesome to see John with a burr under his tail, dude.
And
Seriously.
you've got to keep in mind, this is the episode that's going to air on July 4th. His big point of his speech was about First Amendment rights. You're going to suspend CM Punk for speaking his mind.
Yeah. Vinnie Mac didn't like the fact that everything that CM Punk said
was true.
Like I said last week on the show, Johnny Ace is a piece of shit.
Yep.
When it comes to booking certain people, Triple H is a fucking doofus. He recruited Sin Cara. What the fuck has Mystico done? Except botch everything left and right.
He beat Chavo.
What has Mystico done since he came to the company?
He gets himself in a match with Evan Bourne, which is supposed to be probably the biggest match of the year.
This match was hyped for a fucking week before last week's show, and it did not. No. I will not say it, but for a week's hype, fail.
I'm gonna go ahead and set it, because you know why? We didn't even fucking cover it last week. That's how forgettable it was.
We forgot it. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So John comes down, challenges Vince's balls pretty much, and says, "I called Vince today. He's on a flight." You know he walked in the building first thing in the morning, but whatever.
Yeah.
But
we were there, damn it.
You knew you were at production meeting, asshole.
But the thing is, Mr. McMahon was going to be in the house come hell or high water. And
which was a beautiful thing to see.
We don't see Mr. McMahon very much anymore because he purposely said a long time ago he was going to remove himself from TV slow but sure. When was the last time you've seen him on a regular basis since Brett? We haven't.
Exactly. Then he signs a 3-year deal as a talent.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, that makes no sense, man. But the whole thing was built around this whole Punk, and what I love is they threw together a triple threat contenders match for the WWE Championship. Alberto wins, which proves the prophecy true that
it is his destiny.
It is his destiny to be the champion. And come August 14th, when we all in the house,
I made it.
Will be Alberto Del Rio. If he doesn't win, the crazy Hispanics of the world will riot. But you know what? We'll be safe inside Staples Center. We'll be okay.
You know what? We're going to have to exit Staples Center to go to the post-show party, which is presumably going to be at Hooters. And if the Laker Nation shows up to SummerSlam, we're going to have to walk through fires and all kinds of looting and rioting just to get there. I'm just saying.
Can we park at the next Blue Line station up with the car before we get
there? That's up to the ride.
Okay, I'm just throwing that out there.
I'll be wearing a Dallas Maverick jersey. Nothing to do with wrestling, just my hate.
I'll be rocking the Miami Heat.
Yeah, just my hate for the Los Angeles.
Rays jersey, I don't mind.
Just gonna rock a Clippers one.
Yeah.
Just to stay neutral.
Let me say off topic that overhyped doesn't deserve to be in the same Staples Center as the Kings and the Lakers. I don't like the Lakers, but the fucking Clippers belong in San Diego.
I was gonna say
we're getting off topic. So the whole night we'll talk about the undercard and all that shit, but the whole
thing. There was an undercard.
Kinda. The whole thing. Oh yeah, there was a Divas tag match again. Barbie dolls presented when we had Geth and Bale.
Yeah. Beth and
Gail in the back.
It's okay, drunk Jeff.
In the back, ready to tear this shit down again. They didn't do it.
Seriously. And once again, you got The Miz and Alex Riley, and Alex Riley once again wins. But the story, like we said, was between John Cena calling out Vince McMahon and the confrontation that happened at the end of the show,
and the
triple threat match with Alberto, R-Truth, and Rey Mysterio. Now, my original thought going into this match was that R-Truth was going to win, CM Punk was going to get reinstated, get his title shot back, and it was just going to add more fuel to R-Truth's fire about a conspiracy. However, what they did with putting Alberto over, I now firmly believe that they're just going to parlay that victory into his SummerSlam match, which we briefly kind of touched on, but this was what I was saying as it all happened, so I just want to make sure I get it out there that I was kind of calling this as it happened.
Right.
Jeff, you can attest to this because you're sitting right next to me.
I remember where I was sitting about 10 minutes
ago, and
a few hours ago.
I don't think you're the only ones that saw that also. I think CM Punk saw that as well. He foresaw them pushing Del Rio to SummerSlam. So what do? You cut a fucking hardcore promo. Get yourself way ahead of Del Rio, no matter what WWE forces down the, you know what I mean, the mark's throats. You stay on top. Whether you leave, stay, sit, stand, whatever the fuck you do, every wrestling fan now is following CM Punk. Whether they love him, whether they hate him, they're following CM Punk. He is the #1 most watched wrestler right now.
Like
All
I
eyes on
Vince
Punk.
McMahon is trending on Twitter now
Yes,
as a result of the Raw tonight?
Another stockholder sent me a text saying that Vince McMahon is trending on Twitter. Not even hours after that Raw went off the air.
Like
Minutes.
I said last week, the website I worked for got shut down.
That
Because
says
of all the traffic.
everything right there, because not to blow smoke up Aaron's ass, but NoDQ.com is probably the most trafficked wrestling website aside from WWE.com and, dare I say, ImpactWrestling.com.
From what the numbers I read, we get more traffic than TNA.
Well, you know, I was trying to put the main companies ahead. So,
I
you
get
know,
more traffic on the 405 than TNA.
You will in a couple
Yeah.
weeks, that's for goddamn sure.
Oh, Carmageddon, yeah. If you guys live out in California.
If you live up to 405,
I did like the skit between Ron Killings,
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to call him tonight, and Alberto Del Rio. I like the little skit that they had. I actually hope for a future rivalry between the two where one's a face and one's a heel, and we all know Del Rio's going to have to be that face in that rivalry.
Exactly.
That's a down the road thing.
Yes.
Let's get to the meat.
I apologize for yawning on camera. We've been fucking up since 3:30 in the morning.
yesterday,
2:30 in the morning, excuse me. I'm
Show
looking at
clock.
the clock right now. It says 3:40, so we have now been up for over 24 fucking hours.
Yeah.
So I apologize for yawning on camera, but you know what? I don't do 24-hour days anymore.
we
As
told
a
this
father of a 2.5-year-old, I just can't do 24-hour days anymore. So, you know.
Too old for this shit.
Yeah.
But we
Seriously.
love you enough.
Exactly.
And honestly, I'm gonna come out there and say it. If I get fired, I get fired. I wanted to be up here and do this show with you guys and get the news out about these Raws right now and not worry about going home trying to schedule with Aaron about, we need to get this news out. The fucking news is out.
Seriously.
The world knows what happened last week on Raw.
Either it's already up on websites as spoilers, or it's trending on Twitter and Facebook and people are talking about it. The news is already out there, so we gotta get it covered.
Seriously. So,
Back to
the whole thing
back
came...
to the confrontation.
Yeah, the whole thing came down to the fact that Vince admitted that he is worried about John dropping to Punk and Punk walking out with his title.
But before we even got to Vince admitting it, did you catch the botch in the arena? I'm sure it'll be edited on TV.
Oh, yeah.
But they started to play Cena's music, and you got the first few chords of the My Time Is Now, and then they cut it, and then they put Vince's music on to have Vince come out first.
All marks are up with their hands about to clap.
And then out comes Vince McMahon, and it's like, fail.
I think that was designed on purpose. I really
do?
I really do, because
Like, who comes first?
the people, that number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the people were ready to cheer for anybody that came out of that curtain because they were ready for the segment, and Vince got a good pop. We knew he was going to get vilified during the segment because of what he pulled on the suspension, but Vince got a good pop. He power walked to the ring as only Vince McMahon can do. And then John came out and verbally ripped him a new one, dude.
Seriously.
Now, seriously, please, okay, I'm going to get this on record.
Yes.
Don't move the camera. Don't cut the camera. Don't do anything. J.J. Williams, the Renegade of Wrestling, stood on his feet and clapped and cheered for John fucking Cena.
There you go. There you have it.
If that's not the greatest cap on my bachelor party Vegas trip, aside from me getting laid by my woman tonight, which ain't happening, she ain't here, that's second choice right there, dude.
I will go ahead and I will confirm this statement. This is not a rumor. This isn't some kind of, conspiracy of truth made up. No. And the reason I did it is because the John Cena we saw at the end of last week's Raw, storming off pissed, at the top of this week's Raw, shooting from the hip and speaking his feelings, is the John Cena I liked back in the day. So when he came out at the end of the night, you notice, you want to go ahead and throw me under the bus, that's cool, but you notice I wasn't standing up doing this. I wasn't standing up doing this. I was standing up doing this.
This is true.
I was doing the old school Cena taunts, because that is the John Cena that we saw tonight.
Yes.
We saw shades of old school Cena.
And at the end of the day, when I said on Talk Wrestling over a year and a half, 2 years ago, everything in wrestling is a storyline. CM Punk is back in. He gets a shot at Money in the Bank.
Because Cena demanded it.
And what I think is going to happen is, because Vince laid it out right to Cena's face, get that smile off your face. Because if you lose, you're fired. I'm throwing it out there right now, and I'm hoping this happens. I don't want John to get fired. I don't want that. But what I do want is what John wants, what our good friend wants, and what we have all, the Big L, and what we have wanted for the better part of 5 years. A break from John.
TV.
Not this, Wade Barrett cost me to get fired and I'm off TV. You didn't leave TV.
Hey guys, I'm just saying Money in the Bank will probably be the #1 B-rated pay-per-view of the year.
I agree.
So, I mean, what we saw the Raw Money in the Bank and participants announced, and we have a WWE Championship match with everything at stake.
Yeah.
Bottom
line.
And I had Aaron, wanting to come down and watch Money in the Bank with us and hang out with us, but the 405 is shutting down that weekend because
there's other ways to get.
They're deciding in the middle of summer traffic to shut down the 405 freeway in Southern California between the 101 and the 10.
And I just want to know who thought of that great idea.
I'm going to throw that at the camera because the fucking...
Rift, if you're seeing this, take the 101 to the 110 to the 91.
Seriously, get here, Aaron. We want to see you.
You can avoid the 405 to get to my house. 101, 110, 91.
And bring Pepsi throwbacks and Beth.
My
man, do you see the prompter right there? It says Lady Killer. Bring Pepsi and bring Beth. Okay? I'm the Renegade of Wrestling.
And I'm the Lady Killer. But you already knew that. He's still drunken Jeff. We'll see you next time. Fuck, this is crazy.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Owen the Talkinator Studios series premiere of Owen and AJ Talks. Welcome to the FTW family, Zero Miller. Shared experiences re-airing on the new FTW main hub. All retro wrestling review series videos on demand and upcoming. The Wrestling Rundown makes its return, available now on demand. Fantasy Booking Series video, If Goldberg Stayed in WWE in 2004. Pride CAW Supercard by Zero Entertainment. All of A Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Both episodes of The Don DeMarco Show. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. Indy Force Episode 26, available now on demand. Jeff Meacham Network, all watch-along events. AEW Double or Nothing Dynamite Go Home Show Watch Party, available now on demand. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Casa D18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting. Episode 3 coming soon. Breaking news. ATW View Impromptu. WYW Intro and Immortal Stream. Wrestling with Idiocy Episode 8. Fast Food and Restaurants discussion. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
Hello YouTube fans, and welcome to this episode of Double Down with Double A. This week I will be talking about my top 10 favorite movies of all times. These are movies where I've seen, most of them I've seen in the triple digits. One or two of them I've seen actually in the quadruple digits. Yes, quadruples. And like maybe one or two of them you could say I've seen them in the double digits, but you know, there's only like one or two that's on this list that, you know, made my favorites that only seen like, you know, a few times. Number 10 on my list is Beverly Hills Cop starring Eddie Murphy. I mean, for those of you that don't know, it's a Detroit detective that has his best friend come out to visit him. His best friend gets killed, and he acts on some leads that he knew from what his best friend tells him. Flies out to Beverly Hills to solve the crime. Antics ensue. There's a lot of action in it. You know, a lot of comedy. The banana in the tailpipe is probably the best gag in there. Number 9 on my list. Should become to no surprise to anyone. It's starring Prince, Morris Day and The Time,
Apollonia's in it. Purple Rain. It's I first time I seen that, I was a little boy, about 10 years old, and I've seen that one countless amount of times. I lost count. I literally lost. It had to been. I know it's somewhere in the high triple digits. That's all I know, but I've seen it quite a few times. Number 8 on my list is a movie starring Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson. Anger Management. That movie was great from start to finish. It's hilarious. It's one of those movies where you truly gotta watch it. And Jack Nicholson's type of therapy that he uses for Adam Sandler in this movie was very unconventional, but for some reason it worked. So yeah, therefore that's why that one's on my list. And at the end it has that love story type twist where he finally does get a chance to show public affection to his girlfriends and all that. Number 7, Few Good Men, starring Tom Cruise, Kevin Pollak, Demi Moore, Kevin Bacon's in it, Jack Nicholson. Who is not in that freaking movie? Jesus Christ. I think Cuba Gooding makes a cameo in this movie. Is about 2 poster Marines that get caught up in they're on trial for murder, and they're about to spend the rest of their lives in Leavenworth, and it's up to Tom Cruise, pretty much a litigator or attorney, never, he's a, plea bargain attorney. He's not a, trial lawyer, that to get him off, and surprisingly he does, breaks the rules of engagement when it comes to, JAG court, as opposed to, municipal court that you would normally see. Number 6, going back to another, movie with a Cuba Gooding Jr. in it, with him and Robert De Niro, Men of Honor, about a young man that all throughout the movie you see a man that keeps chasing after his ambition, doesn't let anything stop him from achieving his goals, even to the point where his leg gets severed in an accident, but he still did not allow that to stop him from achieving his goals. He had to prove to the U.S. Navy that he could still operate as a naval diver with only one leg, and he does. Number 4, this one should come to no surprise to anybody. Al Pacino, Scarface. That's one movie I can watch over and over and over again. I know it line for line. It's one of those movies where if I'm flipping through stations and I see it's coming on, I would set the DVR, I would do whatever I have to do, but I'm watching it that night or right when it comes on. And probably by far Al Pacino's most defining role right there is in Scarface.
More so than Michael Corleone in The Godfather?
Yes. You cockroach?
Okay.
So you want to deal with crack cocaine?
He wasn't selling crack cocaine, he was selling powder cocaine, and...
Cocaine is cocaine.
No, it's not.
How would you know? I would be frightened to know how you would know that.
For someone that used to sell it, I could say, no, it's not. Yes. Number 4 on this list, starring Ray Liotta and Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci, The Goodfellas. That movie I could say I've seen in the quadruple digits. I've seen at least 1,000 times. As one of those I've keep having to buy the DVDs for it. I keep having to, get it on VHS. I would watch it over and over and over again. It's like one of those. It's like one of those little Wusa movies. If I just want to see a bunch of ass kicking and killing taking place and stuff like that. Joe Pesci played one of the most cold-hearted sons of bitches I've ever seen in any movie. In this movie right here, loved it. Still love it to this day. There's reasons why it's not number one, because my number one surpasses it of all times. Number 3, The Breakfast Club. I know it's kind of hokey, but Judd Nelson, Anthony Michael Hall, you got Molly Ringwald, Emilio Estevez, Ali Sheedy. Those 5 right there in the Brat Pack just made that movie what it was. I mean, it's first time I seen it, I was about 9 or 10 years old. We seen it. My sister got like free passes for the sneak previews, but you had to use them that night. We all went. I enjoyed it then. And every time I've seen it after that, and still to this day, I have to sit in front of the television, and it's like, please, no sing-along. Although I know it line for line, no sing-alongs. I'm watching Breakfast Club. Bye-bye. Number 2 on my list is another movie starring Tom Cruise, and it has Anthony Edwards, directed by Tony Scott. Top Gun. Just from start to finish, just with the fighter pilots, being the fighter jets, and just all the maneuvers and the story that it tells itself is just draws you in. But what drew me in was all the action from the fighter jets, but the story it tells, it just captivates you. And number 1 on my list, it's a Stanley Kubrick film, Full Metal Jacket. Robert Lee Ermey, Matthew Modine. You got I think one of the Baldwin brothers is in it. That movie right there, from start to finish. Some people, they only like the boot camp scene and the boot camp scenes, and that's it. But yeah, it's 2 movies in one. But you have to. The second part is, to me, is just as good, if not even better, because it shows what Robert Lee Ermey, how he took people like Joker and Cowboy and transformed them into who they were. Where you have to see how they progressed, after graduating boot camp. So that's why I enjoyed that part where they're off in Vietnam and they're fighting, and you see the camaraderie between Marines and all that. Loved it from start to finish. That's another one I've seen at least 1,000 times. I can act that one out line for line. If I was to be the sing-along type, I can sing along with it, and not skip it without skipping a beat. However, I don't do it because, the purpose of watching a movie is to watch a movie. Quite a few honorable mentions, by the way. I've heard mentioned earlier that didn't make it on my list, but they're definitely up there in the top 20 or top 30. You got Forrest Gump. You got Big Philadelphia was another great one. One that didn't make it on anybody's list that I haven't heard so far was actually, and I'm surprised it didn't make it on my list, but it's definitely up in the top 11, and that's Gone with the Wind. And there's quite a few, many others. There's classics, there's modern day classics. Color Purple, that should have been in there, but that's definitely a honorable mention. list can go on and on and on and on and on. Unfortunately, we don't have enough tape or time on that camera for me to give all my honorable mentions. So until next time, I am Double A. This is the Double Down with Double A. With my installment with my top 10 movies of all times. And I am out of here.
Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. I am the owner of NoDQ Aaron Rift, here to answer your questions regarding the world of professional wrestling. So let's get right down to it via Formspring. Hey Aaron, what's the worst thing you have ever seen since watching wrestling? For me, even though I didn't see it, it was Owen Hart's death at Over the Edge 1999. It was so shocking. Also, why didn't they just end the pay-per-view as it was clear no one wanted it to continue? Yeah, I totally agree with you 100%. Owen Hart's death was, without a doubt, the darkest day in the history of the wrestling business, and as a fan, it was the hardest night to get through. I remember watching the pay-per-view with a couple of friends of mine, and we were actually totally numb to the whole thing. It seemed so surreal, and we weren't sure if it was a storyline or if it was legitimate. It wasn't until I got home and turned on the TV and saw the news report about Owen Hart that it really sank in that, yeah, he actually died at this pay-per-view. And yeah, it was just very, very unfortunate and sad and just unbelievable. And as far as whether the pay-per-view should have continued or whether it should have shut down, you know, nobody can really judge Vince McMahon for making the decision he made. You know, it was a split-second decision. He had to make it, you know, right there on the spot. He had to decide what to do, and he decided that the show must go on, and, you know, I don't really blame him. He did what he felt he had to do. It's always going to be debated. People are going to say he did the right thing. Some people are going to say he should have ended the show. He probably should have ended the show, but when you're in that kind of situation, you know, there's really no room for logic or reasoning. You just got to go with your gut instinct. So there you go. Thoughts on William Regal? I'm a big William Regal fan. He's awesome. Great wrestler. Very funny guy. The comedy skits he does are always entertaining. One of my favorite moments was actually one of the few highlights of SummerSlam 2007 was the backstage skit with him and Crime Time, and Vince McMahon loved it. William Regal, great performer. What match of the 1990s had you on the edge of your seat the whole time? Mine personally would have been King of the Ring 1998, Undertaker versus Mankind, Hell in a Cell. I agree with you on that match. Definitely a hair-raising match, to say the least. The first Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, Bret Hart versus Steve Austin, WrestleMania 13, the Austin Rock matches, all those matches, Rock versus Mankind. Never a dull moment with those matches. Always really exciting, and the crowd heat was just unreal. Great time to be a wrestling fan, for sure. How long do you think Sheamus will last as a babyface, and who do you think are the wrestlers he will feud with? Well, right now he's just starting a feud with Christian, and that seems to be the direction WWE is going right now. Sheamus and Christian, and then Mark Henry and Randy Orton. Like I said before, they could always go back to Randy Orton versus Christian one more time, but I really think they're done with the feud. That looks like they're finally moving on to something else. And you know, I could see Sheamus going back to feud with Mark Henry later in the year. You know, and he'll probably feud with some of the Raw guys too. He's been teaming up with John Cena. Maybe he'll feud with Miz or one of those guys, or R-Truth. You never know. What is your favorite non-biographical WWE DVD? I just finished watching the ladder match DVD and I thought it was epic. Can't wait for ladder match 2. Yeah, that one's definitely at the top of my list. Also the Hell in a Cell DVD. Just any of those compilation DVDs are a lot of fun to watch. And those are matches you can watch over and over again. They're always really exciting. You know, the 10th time compared to the first time, always really good stuff. What is your favorite type of match stipulation? Ladder, Hell in a Cell, TLC, Money in the Bank, etc. Well, I think my all-time favorite at this point is the Money in the Bank, because year after year, it's always meant something. The problem with a stipulation match is if it gets watered down, you know, it no longer means anything. And the Money in the Bank is the one stipulation that really still matters at this point. You know, when the Money in the Bank guy wins, he cashes it in and wins the title, and you know when you see that match, it's something important. With Hell in a Cell, it's gotten watered down with the whole, you know, with the PG era and just having too many Hell in a Cell matches, just throwing it on a pay-per-view. And, you know, like in the old days, the Hell in a Cell match would be the end of a feud and it would actually have some kind of purpose. And now it doesn't really mean much of anything. Same thing with the ladder match. You just throw it out for no reason. Yeah, they're not as good as they used to be. But the Money in the Bank is the one thing that's been consistently great since 2005. So right now, I would say that's my favorite match. What was your favorite NWO moment? There's so many of them. So many. Hard to just pick one. I think I liked when the Giant first joined the NWO, and they destroyed the set. Also, the Nitro where they threw Kevin Nash threw Rey Mysterio like a dart into the trailer, and just when Bischoff first turned and joined the NWO and they all beat him down. Just that period, like summer, fall, 1996. Some of those NWO moments, were irreplaceable. You can only make that magic happen once. You catch lightning in a bottle. It was one period where WCW was just blowing WWE away and everything they did. Do you think WWE will let Scott Hall come back? Probably not. I think it's highly unlikely that we will see Scott Hall on television. He wasn't even at the Hall of Fame this year because he's still got his problems going on and his demons. So why are they going to put him on TV in a storyline? It's just, not going to happen most likely. Hey Aaron, if you were stranded on a desert island with only a TV and a DVD player, what 5 wrestling DVDs would you bring and why? Well, going back to earlier, I'd bring the Hell in a Cell DVD, I'd bring the Ladder Match DVD, the Shawn Michaels DVD, the Bret Hart DVD, and the Hulk Hogan DVD. I think I'd be set with those 5. Alright, that about does it for NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. You can leave a comment on the video at youtube.com/NoDQCAW. For those of you still wondering about why the changes were made to this channel recently, I'm going to post a video response, the State of No DQ. Check that one out. Also check out the very first No DQ&A where I answer the most frequently asked questions. And make sure you check all the other No DQ and Q&A videos out. And please spread the word. Really appreciate it. Thanks, and we'll see you next time for No DQ&A video.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Owen the Talkinator Studios series premiere of Owen and AJ Talks. Welcome to the FTW family, Zero Miller. Shared experiences re-airing on the new FTW main hub. All Retro Wrestling Review Series videos on demand and upcoming. The Wrestling Rundown makes its return, available now on demand. Fantasy Booking Series video, If Goldberg Stayed in WWE in 2004. Pride CAW Supercard by Zero Entertainment. All of A Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Both episodes of The Don DeMarco Show. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. Indy Force Episode 26, available now on demand. Jeff Meacham Network, all watch-along events. AEW Double or Nothing Dynamite Go Home Show Watch Party, available now on demand. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Casa D18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting. Episode 3 coming soon. Breaking news. ATW View Impromptu. WYW Intro and Immortal Stream. Wrestling with Idiocy Episode 8. Fast Food and Restaurants discussion. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
Oh well, so what? What's up? The Weird Al comparisons continue.
Hey, it's true. I love it. Ain't that the truth? Stat Boy Rants, episode 21. Where's my shot of Jack?
We're legal.
Legal. Where's my Jack? Where's my beer? Where's my Miller? Where's my Bud? Where's my Dos Equis? Where's my Stella Artois?
The show is many things. Legal's
Where's
not
your
one.
pussy?
Under the bed.
Because it's hiding from you.
Diesel.
Pussy always
Come here,
hides
Diesel.
Mikey.
Come here. Come here, cat. He just sits there. Anywho.
Mikey barks orders at his pussy. It happens all the time.
Yeah, whatever, fine. Anywho. Some stuff has been going on. We just got done actually watching the SmackDown Ho 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 Holiday Special. We'll touch on that a little bit. And of course, what else could be happening in the world of wrestling and internet land? I don't know.
I have a topic you might not know about.
What is it, Mr. Jeff Meacham?
I saw an interview today that was posted with Paul Heyman interviewing Brock Lesnar about WWE 12.
WWE 12.
And he also talked about the upcoming fight and that Overeem is just he's gonna die.
He's gonna die.
He's gonna die pretty much.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Those weren't Brock's words. That's my humble opinion because Brock's all kinds of mad.
Yes, he is. And it's a good thing you brought up video games, because let's try that again. my good buddy Paul from the UK, who is getting a Stepboy approved t-shirt. There's your shout out, which I promised. He says he wants me to rant about wrestling video games.
If he gets a Stat Boy approved shirt, do we get a Union Jack in return? We got like one of the flags to hang up.
Actually, no, but I asked him a question. I said, I asked him if the building that houses the Cavern Club is still around, and he goes, yes. I said, could you take your picture there in front of the Cavern Club?
With the Stat Boy shirt.
With the Stat Boy shirt.
There you go.
And he said, yes, he would do it.
Stat Boy approved.
Exactly. The Cavern Club is definitely Stat Boy approved.
There you go.
And
Pop approved.
And Pop approved, too.
Yes.
And he also said he lives near Penny Lane.
Damn.
So I did shout out for Abbey Road, but see, he's Liverpool and Abbey Road is London. It's a 3-hour drive from Liverpool to London. So I don't want you to. I don't know what the gas prices are in the UK there, Paul, but
probably better than here.
If you want to take a train to Liverpool and London and cross Abbey Road in a Stat Boy approved shirt, go right ahead. But the UK is definitely Stat Boy approved. Okay, wrestling video games. Let me first say about video games in general. I love video games. Okay, my best games are the ones like I wear the Legend of Zelda shirt, so you know that style of games. Games where you actually have to do something with your character. Open the door, take out the guard, get the key, find the map, shoot the guard in the head, and then, you know, take his money and save the girl, and you're done. Those type of games are the best type of games.
My favorite one you played was Star Wars Unleashed, The Force Unleashed. That was the business.
Star Wars Unleashed, there you go.
The story of Starkiller, that shit was awesome.
Kill people with lightsabers, you know.
There you go.
And then, of course, the good old-fashioned war games, Call of Duty, you know, great franchise. I need to catch up on those games. Those are good games. Strategy games, you know, puzzle games, work on your mind. Wrestling games falls under the category I kind of do not like the best. That's fighting games because I ain't very good at them. I'll admit it. This is me when I'm playing a fighting game. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? What button do I push?
Doesn't matter.
These people, if you've never played these games, all you got to do. You okay there?
I was trying not to. Sorry.
You okay there, Jeff Meacham?
I'm fine.
I don't know the Heimlich maneuver.
It wasn't anything there. I was trying not to cough.
Okay, good. He's okay. I mean, all you have to do is just continually push buttons randomly and fast, and next thing you know, your character does whatever you want him to do. As far as WWE 12 goes, I've demoed it. I saw it. The graphics are sick, especially if you pick CM Punk with all his tattoos and all that. The entrances are great. Even Ricardo Rodriguez has a character. Now, my only problem with that is it kind of doesn't sound like him. It doesn't sound perfect. But he gets... Yes, Jeff Meacham?
We need to get Chimera masks and stuff on that boy, on that game. We need to make this happen. Vince, if you're watching, make a downloadable outfit for him as a Chimera, man. He did it in Florida for a while.
There you go.
There you go. God damn it. Anyway.
In fact, wrestling games go all the way back to the original NES. The cool guy's name was Starman. He was a purple luchador with a big old star on his face. That was before Wrestling Challenge came out. You got the little 8-bit Hulk Hogan going up against the little 8-bit Ultimate Warrior and clothesline. They would clothesline each other. They would body slam each other. It was really cheesy, but it was fun.
So if Hogan was 8-bit, was Andre 9-bit?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so make sure.
More like 16-bit, because Andre was a big guy, you know.
But were Hogan's bits 24 inches, though? Is that how that worked? Or?
Okay, we'll put Hogan at 12 and Andre at 16.
There we go.
That's fortunate. And then, of course, the other games came out. And the one game I did like the best was WrestleMania, the arcade game. It was kind of like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, but it took place in the ring. You know, you had Bret Hart, you had Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Doink the Clown, Lex Luger was in there. Who else was in there?
A lot of people.
I want to say, I think Bulldog wasn't in there. But anyway, you know, you're in the ring and you're just killing people left and right.
One of Doink's finishes was the freaking Joy Buzzer.
The Joy Buzzer.
You can shock somebody.
Bam Bam Bigelow was in there. He was in there too.
I think his only appearance.
No, he did.
I take it back. Never mind.
And I'm talking the arcade version, not the NES version or anything. I want to find the classic arcades. I don't want to go to a sports bar and play video games. I just want to go to a place and play games. You don't have to sit there. Like, my problem with GameWorks is like you're sitting there and here comes the waitress and it's like, really, I have to drink a beer and play Pac-Man at the same time? That's kind of difficult. It might be more fun because you're really smashed. You're like, oh, I'm playing Pac-Man.
Drunk Jeff's proof of that.
Drunk Jeff's proof of that. There you go. So yeah, you know, WWE 12 is good. Go out and buy it for your Xbox, PlayStation, Wii, whatever.
But buy it like last week so you can get The Rock.
And you gotta get,
yeah. Otherwise you're fucked.
Yeah, right.
Oh wait, it's already this week.
It's already out.
Oh no.
Yeah. What a shame.
But Brock looks awesome on the game. It's like current Brock too. He's got the tattoos. And
really?
Yeah, he's got that big old tattoo going down his chest.
I did not
and
know
he's
that.
got the updated stuff on the back. He looks like UFC Brock, but he's in his WWE tights.
My goodness.
Fucking awesome.
All right, my good buddy Josh Stacks, who designed this shirt.
Ah.
If Cena went heel, do you think it would save him from the fans? Okay. I've talked about Cena and Raw. I get that. Okay, folks, here's the thing. Okay, Cena doesn't care whether they boo him or love him. He even said that on Raw. Okay, and he's trying to send a message, folks. You think he wears a shirt that says "Rise Above Hate" because it's a cool shirt? No, he's sending you a message. He wants to tell all the haters that have no soul that I don't give a damn if you boo me. If you love me, of course, I'm going to take it. But if you hate me, I'm not going to let it bother me. Which is something I should learn a lot more of. Because, you know, to my haters out there, I said way back in the day, you know, why do you guys hate me? And then I just let it go for 15 or 16 episodes. If you hate me, I'm not going to go in my room and cry. I'm not going to question myself and say, you know what? These haters are hurting my feelings. I don't want to do my show anymore. Well, get this, haters. Just because you hate John Cena, he ain't going to quit. He ain't going to walk out. He ain't going to say, screw you guys, I'm going to go to TNA. Although he did almost go because he thought about it. If you remember that storyline. You know? So it won't make any difference if Cena is face or Cena is heel. Sure, he could have slapped Roddy Piper back last night on Monday Night Raw, or he could have put him up for an AA. Roddy Piper would have probably disintegrated once he hit the mat, but
or broke his hip again.
Exactly. It wouldn't have made any difference. Because the haters would probably get, yeah, we can finally legitimately hate John Cena and he'll hate us back. And all the lovers will go, why, John, why?
That's for a reason to do it. Make little Make-A-Wish kids cry.
You know?
That's Jeff Meacham and I'm cruel. Thank you.
Are you really that cruel?
Not that cruel, but you know, honestly, I'm gonna debate you on your own show here.
Okay, go right ahead.
Honestly, I know people like me doing this, so I really don't give a crap.
Hold on. And you know what? There's the First Amendment, folks. Freedom of speech. If Jeff Meacham wants to talk on my show, I'm going to let him. If the Renegade wants to talk on my show, I'm going to let him. If AA decides to show up, I'm going to kick his ass out of here. But he'll still talk first. He'll piss me off, and then I'll get rid of him. So just because Jeff Meacham he's got After the Bell, he's got Rain Inside, let him talk. So haters, that goes out to you. If I want Jeff Meacham on my show and you don't like it, 1, don't watch, and 2, too bad. Go ahead, Jeff.
And at least it's just the voice, not the image. You know, seriously.
Yeah, you did shave your head, but go ahead.
I am bald ginger now. It's like a little bit ginger left.
Yeah, go ahead.
I honestly think this Cena thing is a slow build now because you saw the look on his face when Roddy popped.
Yeah, he looked like he was about to cry.
He looked like he was about to cry, and he was gonna tag Roddy back, one or the other.
One or the other, yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
And because he's currently a face, he did the face thing and walked away.
Yeah, he put the ring back at Roddy's hand, shook and said, no, I'm not going to do it, man. I'm not going to do it, and walked away with his head up. He kissed the dog tags, which I think is significant for a reason that like very few people know.
Maybe it's a secret message. I don't know.
It probably is. But, you know,
now,
the heel turn will happen. It'll
why
happen.
The ring, though? Why did he want to give him his ring?
I think Roddy is like so disenfranchised with WWE as far as like, you know, just their whole outlook on anything right now. I think that was more of a message to Vince than to John.
Ah, so he's pulling a Billy Graham. Because Billy Graham sold his ring on eBay for $6,000.
Well, I will say right here for the public record, I'm going to go my face.
No, you stay right where you are.
Superstar Billy Graham is a piece of shit. I'll tell you that right now. Because he was at his lowest point. He had a liver transplant, was going to die, and WWE and Vince McMahon welcomed him back into the family with open arms after all the shit he said about him in the 80s and 90s.
Right.
And now he's trying him again, so fuck him.
Okay.
I am going to defend McMahon on that one.
The opinions of Jeff Meacham are Statboy approved, and if you don't like it, too bad.
Next week on the show.
Next week on the show, we'll bring in the Renegade.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Another quick shout out to Mr. Paul over here. Basically, what he did to get a shirt. Now, this is kind of fun. He said he was my biggest UK fan. So I put him on blast a little bit. I said, okay, if you're a fan, I'm going to quiz you. He goes, okay, no problem. He got 3 out of 5. I initially wanted to go 5 for 5, but he screwed up a little bit. And he went 3 out of 5, and so he won a shirt. So maybe I'll make that a regularity when I'm on Facebook. If I'm on Facebook, you're one of my friends, you say, hey, Stat Boy, I like the show or whatever, I'm a fan or whatever, I'm going to call you out on it. I want you to prove that you guys are paying attention. I want you to, do your homework. The only catch is, I do not want you to go back and look up the answers. That's stuff I pull all the time. I look up the answers. I look at strategy guides when I play video games. I look up all that stuff. Because if I ask you a question about my show and you come back to me like maybe 10 minutes later, you're looking up the answer. Paul did it within 3 minutes. Plus he's in the UK, so the stuff had to travel overseas.
So you did 8 hours in 3 minutes.
Well, yeah, really.
There you go.
Yeah. So if I'm online and you claim to be a fan, I'm going to call you out on it. And if you do well enough, I'll send you a shirt. Because it is the holiday season.
So hoop-de-doo and dickory-dock.
Exactly. Don't be a Scrooge. As far as the last Stat Boy challenge that went out about the videos that I wanted, Matthew, you got the shirt. I've ordered it. It'll be in next week. Good job. He actually found a video of a guy who took a polygraph test. He passed, and of course, ghetto mama lady over here, I don't believe no test. So I need to come up with another Stat Boy challenge for y'all. I gotta figure out something.
Guess Jeff Meacham's weight. No, don't do that, please.
No?
No, because it fluctuates a lot right now. I'm going back and forth right now. I'm trying to lose my weight.
Do you know you just inspired me now?
I'm sure I have. Now, honestly, I lost a lot when I moved down here with y'all. I gained quite a bit of it back by being a dumbass. So
yeah, really.
It's really an unfair challenge because they could guess it right the day they sent it to me.
Yeah, and then up and down, up and down. Let's see. Maybe there'll be one coming up after the first of the year. Us here at Casa D18, we're planning on going to one of the final 2 Kings and Ducks games. Maybe what I'll do, and maybe I probably will, I'll send out little messages on my Twitter, yeah, on my Twitter saying...
Tweet on my face. And
yeah, tweet up my face. That's the new song. Tweet on my face and tell me that you love me. Rocky reference.
Dated reference, but it works.
It's like, maybe if I'm at a hockey game and I'm saying, I'm in the low section, I'm in this section, I'm in this row. Come up to me, hey Stat Boy, with a beer in your hands. Gotta have a beer in your hands. You get a shirt. How about that? But that's not going to be for another month or so. Because we gotta get paid and all that stuff.
Christmas is here.
Yes, Christmas is here. Send us hey, why don't you send us a Christmas card? E-cards first, to the Casa D18 family.
If you're Jewish, make a Christmas card.
A Christmas card, there you go. Yes, Christmas.
And if you celebrate Kwanzaa...
I could start clicking, I guess that's what I don't know. Oh, guess what, Internet fans? Jeff Meacham has left the building, and now a great big applause happens because you don't like him. There you go. Whatever, guys. Let me give a shout out to John Morrison. He ain't dead, but his WWE career is. Cheap way for him to go out too. I mean, initially it was supposed to be Brodus Clay. He was supposed to come out and squash the hell out of him, but in legit terms, his contract expired. He took the right way out. He didn't. Jeff Meacham's back.
I heard the Jomo talk. Honestly, I think I know a better way for him to go out than to have his tag team partner take him out.
There you go.
I mean, it almost would have been better if it had been Mercury or Melina. Oh wait, that's right, they fired them too. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, Miz, Brodus would have been cool. It would have been impactful. But I will give the son of a bitch credit. Laurinaitis is trying to build Brodus up, frustration on Brodus to make him a killing machine when he does appear.
And there was something I read that there really was some kind of heat between WWE and John Morrison. I would like to know what kind of heat it was. I mean, okay, yeah, so he lost a couple times in a row or however many times he did. But I mean, John Morrison was cool, man. I mean,
well,
yes.
You have to go back to WrestleMania. because he and Melina both snubbed Trish.
Oh, darn.
Well, for you and me, I get that. But in the eyes of McMahon, Trish is goddess. You snub the greatest ever.
That is one religion I will not bow down to. I will not bow down to the religion of Trish Stratus.
I worship the
What about McMahonism?
If it puts me into a ring, maybe.
Depends who you're facing. You might get killed. But no.
Hornswoggle, I can beat him.
Hornswoggle can talk!
Yay!
Hornswoggle can talk! Thanks to Santa Claus! Santa does do good things.
Yes, Hornswoggle, there is a Santa Claus. And his name ain't Mick Foley.
No, because Mick Foley appeared in the scene like a second later in his Cactus Jack shirt.
There you go.
Which you can buy now on WWEshop.com.
I'm sure you can.
At 80% off. Cyber Monday's over. And
there's some clearance racks on WWEshop.com.
Oh yeah, that's a given, man.
Put money in Ray's pocket. We love Ray. Sorry. I couldn't get it a straight face.
No, you couldn't.
I couldn't. It was a lie.
You couldn't.
I couldn't.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see, what else?
Put money in our pockets. Buy our hockey tickets.
Yeah, send us gifts here at Casa D18. We could not for us, for the kids. For the children.
For the chittens.
Yeah.
We're rambling now.
Hey, that's fine. I don't care.
It's pretty much the Mike and Jeff show now. It's not just Boy Rants. It's pretty much the Mike and Jeff show now.
It's another subsidy. We have Renegade of Rants, and now after the rants.
After the rants.
There you go. After the rants.
I'm just bullshitting. There you go.
We should just combine all the shows. It's like Renegade of After the Stat Boy Rants. I can't put Double Down in there because he doesn't exist. With RingsideInsanity.com on Facebook with Twitter. Have I pissed you off yet? Because if I have, I'm doing my job. And I don't care! Woohoo!
Dude, you're disturbing Narnia.
Hello. Hello. He exists. Hey, when you turn 21, you have a good time. What can I say? Should I tone it down and say sorry to Patrice? Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. He died today. I didn't know he had a stroke. We saw him on the roast of Charlie Sheen, and he said he was diabetic. And he said, "I'm dying." And there's a little part in the back. Is he telling the joke or is he telling the truth? Kind of like how Andy Kaufman used to do back in the day.
Stu Stone said. Stu Stone was like, makes you wonder about those jokes we laid on him as Charlie had the roast now.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, damn.
So we better give him a good send-off whenever the next roast comes up.
Well, I will say this. If it comes in threes, we got Patrice, we got Conrad Murray's reputation. One more to go.
Conrad
Murray's bank account, too.
Yeah, that happened today, too, and there are already reports that he's suicidal.
They were saying he was suicidal before he went into the courtroom, but his rep saying, "Oh, he's fine now. He's persevering." And dude, he's had $100 million and at least 2 years of his life. He ain't persevering.
No,
shit.
They haven't made the $100 million official yet.
It's gonna be about that because that's just.
But honest to God, does he really have that kind of money? I don't think so. Cardiologists do not make that kind of money, especially ones that.
If he hadn't killed Michael, he'd be making the money.
Ooh, too soon? I think not.
Never too soon.
Not too soon. Not too soon.
Casa D18 Studios, where it is never too soon.
No, it is not. No, it is not. All right, folks. So
that should be our tagline. We sign up for shows every show.
What we need to do is we need to put the little graphics at the beginning and end of our shows. We need to work on that.
JJ's working on that one.
He's doing a good job.
He's doing a good job behind the scenes.
All right, folks. Send me those comments. Haters, where are you guys? Lovers and haters unite.
If they're lovers, they should be here helping you out, loving them. I'm saying.
Well, yeah, what can I say?
Yeah.
Get your Christmas shopping done. You've only got a month left. Gotta get that one in. And at that point, hope your Thanksgiving was great. We got an epic show coming up, probably in about 2 weeks.
With Jeff this time.
With Jeff, yes, that's right. I'm going to plug December 10th at the Lakewood YMCA. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, the Wild match will be there. The rest of the show, we'll talk about
What's the official federation name?
The official...
Or the company name, or whatever you want to call it.
I don't want to give him a plug, but Epic Pro Wrestling.
Epic Pro Wrestling, December 10th.
At the Lakewood YMCA, Woodruff and Carson. But down the street on Carson at Atlantic, we'll be at the Long Beach Clothing Company from 11 to 2 with Winter. Tara Calloway and Shelly Martinez.
There you go.
If you don't know who Tara Calloway is, you should.
Gotta look her up.
Do your homework, kids.
All right. Send out those comments. What do you want me to rant about? Stat Boy, out.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
This is James Morgan, NWA and Mach 1 Wrestling Superstar.
This is Chris Masters, the Masterpiece.
This is Downtown Bruno. This is Eric Watts from WWE Tough Enough.
Mikey Nova.
Hey, what's up? This your boy, Sean Black.
This is Jess Bella from Santino Brothers.
Gorgeous Joey Chaos.
Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and you are watching Dads on Wrestling.
The Dads on Wrestling.
Dads on Wrestling.
Dads on Wrestling.
On YouTube.
Week on YouTube.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Now stay tuned or you will feel the bang!
Episode of Dads on Wrestling brought to you from the Long Beach Clothing Company, starring yours truly, the Mr. Talk Wrestling, Jeff Meacham, and the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, starts right now.
Yours truly, that's why he thinks he's the star of the show all of a sudden, this guy back here. Right? This guy.
Well, you know, that's what you get for anonymity, I guess.
I guess so. Anyway.
Send him to anonymous announcers.
Anonymous.
Anyways,
and we're starting off rolling here.
This is episode 21 of Dads on Wrestling, coming to you once again live from Long Beach Clothing Company. We're legal now.
We're legal. You're
That's
legal.
right.
You're legal.
We're legal. We should go out and get some beers.
There's liquor down at the liquor store down the street.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm straight edge. Can't touch the hard stuff.
I'm trying to be, and I feel miserably. I feel miserably. Anyway.
So today
we're here at LBC once again.
That's right.
Love it here.
Right.
I'm not actually wearing the stuff today, but I do support.
That's right.
All
that's
that,
right. You've seen it on past episodes. You'll see it on future episodes.
So you know.
But anyways, today we're here to discuss a question we got submitted on our Facebook about who is the greatest wrestler that has never been a world championship.
That is a topic that I get a lot on Talk Wrestling, that I've actually addressed on Talk Wrestling, but I haven't done it in a long time, and there's been quite a few that I didn't mention, and I got serious flack for not mentioning those guys.
Seriously?
You gotta remember, but before the last couple of weeks, I've only got 5 minutes worth of material to use.
This is true. This is true. I mean, and everyone who's been demanding that you go back to this format,
which is what we've done. We've gone
so
to
much.
10, even 12 minutes here lately, so it's been really good. So, you know, it's been good. But, anyway, back to the topic at hand. Any list of guys that should have been world champion but never were in wrestling, you've got to go with Roddy Piper.
Absolutely. The Hot Rod helped make the 80s what it was, and if he hadn't been as good as he was at his job, I still to this day don't believe that Hulk Hogan would have got over as much as he did.
You know, the biggest Hulkamaniac in the world here has got to agree with you on that, and Piper said himself to Hogan, you know, do you think people came to see you and Mr. T that night? No, they came to see you guys kick my butt.
Yeah,
so,
seriously.
You know,
WrestleMania wouldn't have been a success if Roddy Piper didn't deserve a serious ass whooping.
Exactly.
And he got it that night.
Exactly. You know, another guy you got to throw in there for sure. Although there is some debate. There is some debate with this guy because I've kind of gone back and forth with him. Is Owen Hart?
Yes, definitely Owen Hart. Definitely deserved to be a former world champion. As a matter of fact,
I honestly feel that had he not passed in 1999, he at least would have had one run with the belt.
Think so?
I wholeheartedly believe so.
Okay.
I don't think it would have been much of a run. You know, possibly a Benoit League run, you know,
Maybe.
from Mania to SummerSlam. You know, a nice little 5-6 month reign there.
Right.
And that probably would have been the end of it. He definitely wouldn't have been like his brother,
Yeah.
multiple-time champion.
Right.
He definitely wouldn't be the level of a Ric Flair or a Triple H with 13, 14, 16 reigns.
Yeah, seriously.
But I definitely could have seen him as a 1 or 2 title.
Yeah. Sorry for the background noise, by the way. You can hear our kids are in the studio audience today. We're kind of,
If his dad's on wrestling,
dad's on
it's the price you
wrestling.
gotta pay when you can't get a babysitter.
We're
just saying.
We're pulling double duty today. We are the dads in more ways than one. So, anyway, where are you going with her? Leave her alone.
Jake the Snake Roberts is
Jake's a
another
great one to mention, absolutely.
He's another great one that definitely should have gotten a chance, and had it not been for Hulkamania and even Macho Man, you know, and those guys being the flag wavers, Jake might have got a shot.
There is also something to point out when we kind of talking about Jake the Snake. Who brought this up? Mick Foley brought this up in his first book, Have a Nice Day. You know, in the days of Jeff Jarrett, he was swinging guitars left and right, and they were, you know, bashing like they were, you know, pieces of lint or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when Honky Tonk Man hit Jake the Snake with a guitar, that was the best guitar money could buy. That totally shattered Jake's vertebrae. I don't know if you knew that or not. I'm sure you've read Foley's book at least once. So, the fact that Jake went down and was never the same when he came back from that injury. Yes, he worked Honky Tonk to WrestleMania. But it was wild between that episode of the Snake Pit and WrestleMania.
Yes.
So, if Jake had not gotten injured, it could be argued that down the line, heel or face, he would have been a world champion.
Definitely. What about somebody like Davey Boy? Do you think he had the potentials to be a world champion? I mean, he was an awesome talent and a definite good upper mid-carder, but do you think, you know, just like people go back and forth about Owen, do you think that the British Bulldog could have been a respectable and believable world champion?
I was just going to say, it's along the same lines as Owen, but the difference is this. Owen drew as a top heel all around the WWE circuit, if you will. The United States, Canada, Europe, and all that. Where was the Bulldog hot? United Kingdom. He main evented with Brett, and he had a great main event match at SummerSlam '92 against Brett for the Intercontinental Championship, keep that in mind. But could he have taken the world title and run with it and been the superstar that you and I possibly think he could have been? I don't know. I don't know where to go with Davey Boy, only because Davey Boy didn't really prove it to me that he could be anything past a mid-card champion or a tag team champion all around the WWE circuit.
Fair enough.
Europe, yes. United States, Canada. Well, Canada, yeah, because the Hart Foundation was on top. But a top world champion all in the United States, that's hard to debate. It really is.
Well, and a lot of people, you know, don't think that The Miz had the credentials to do it either, but
look what he did. There you go.
You know, 159 days. So again, I don't see the British Bulldog having been like a long-term champion or even a multiple reigning champion. But I definitely could have seen him as a transitional champion for a good 2 to 3 month reign. You know, take it off of X person to make sure it gets to X person.
Kind of like Backlund did in '94.
Exactly.
Although Backlund was happy about that one.
You know,
and honestly, there's a guy that honestly should not have been champion. I don't think for as long as he was, even though his reign was interrupted. If you look at the official books, Bob Backlund, but you know, whatever.
Well, you know, Bob Backlund goes back to the school of the Bruno Sammartinos, where he was a legitimate tough guy wrestler,
right?
And could stretch opponents at will to make sure he kept his belt. You know, he didn't come from the Hulkamania era where, you know, a freaking big boot and a leg drop could win world titles. This is true. He had the amateur credentials, so that's the only reason I feel his reign was as long as it was.
True that. Okay. Another guy that I always mention when I do a list like this is Ravishing Rick Rude. Rick Rude had the look. He had the skill. He had the charisma. He had the manager and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
This is true.
And Rick Rude has said on multiple occasions, and we've all talked about this amongst ourselves and amongst groups of ourselves, Hulk Hogan is the one that squashed his title aspirations. The fact that he didn't get a title shot, a major title run or opportunity until the Warrior won the title speaks volumes.
It does. Now, being a more modern new school fan, if you will, Attitude Era to now, I've gone back and I've watched tapes of Rick Rude, and honestly, he didn't impress me the whole time.
Really?
I mean, I'll give you the look, I'll give you the attitude. I mean, had Rick Rude come around and been ravishing the same time that Val Venus came around, then maybe I could see it. But for back then, he just didn't really impress me the same way that the Pipers, the Macho Mans, even Hogan, as big of a Hogan hater as I am, he did impress back in the day.
Well, you understand.
You can understand, you can go back and watch the tapes and understand why Hulkamania ran wild for as many years as it did.
You gotta understand though, with that era, with Rude and Piper and all them, you gotta understand that there were so many people on that roster, so many big names.
And they didn't have it split up into brands like they do today.
They didn't, and the fact that every single person had to claw, scratch, fight for their spot.
And apparently Rude just didn't fight hard enough because he was able to get squelched by Hulkamania, brother.
Exactly, by the fact that, you know, whether Hulk actually went to Vince and said, keep him down, brother, or not the issue. The fact that Hulk was champion, Rude got a shot here and there.
Yeah.
But when Warrior was champion, Rude was his guy until Macho came.
Even though he did get a title reign, I think this guy should be on the list because he didn't get a long one, and that's Andre.
Andre, yeah.
What is up with Andre and his 1 minute title reign?
Yeah, I don't, you know, again, that's more of a transitional thing they did to get the
Exactly.
belt off of Hulk, because honestly, they wanted to put the belt on somebody. They wanted to give Hulk a break, and they figured, okay, Macho's our number 2 face, put it on him, but we can't have him face off yet. So keep the belt off him, do the buy the belt from DiBiase storyline, you had the Twin Hebners, which granted was one of the best storylines in the history of the world, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But again, to have Andre, the 8th wonder of the world, one of the top guys of all time, have less than a minute with the title, roughly.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
That's bullshit, I'm sorry.
It can be argued that Andre the Giant is the first one to bring wrestling to the mass media.
Oh, I would agree
even
with
before
that.
Hogan.
I would agree with that.
So for him to not have had a run, like a serious run, is a calling.
Yeah.
You know, and we were talking about this last night, and I threw somebody out there forgetting that he had actually been world champion because he was never one of the major companies, if you will, the WWF, WCW, NWA champion. That's Kurt Hennig.
Right. He was
Mr. Perfect.
In the 80s, yeah.
Granted, you know, like you said, he was AWA champion, but he never got the shot to shine when there was that max exposure and wrestling was heating up the circuit.
Well,
I think he deserved it.
With Perfect, I think he was the perfect antithesis to Hulkamania. While Hulk was the top babyface, the world champion, the top dog, Perfect took the IC belt and ran a mile with it, man. He was the greatest Intercontinental champion of the 90s. I don't care. You can give me Shawn Michaels, you can give me Jeff Jarrett, you can give me any of those guys. Perfect was the top Intercontinental champion of the 90s.
What about Dean Douglas, man? Seriously?
The cameraman walked off too, by the way. Just throwing that out there. The cameraman walked off too. I'm just throwing that out there. Wow.
You know, in all seriousness, you know, yeah, Dean Douglas, greatest Intercontinental champion.
Because Shane Douglas was such a dynamic personality.
Right.
They could have ran with the franchise.
Saying that Dean Douglas was the greatest Intercontinental champion is like calling Techno Team 2000 the greatest tag team of all time.
Aaron, will you walk off for me again and redo that? Okay, thank you. Okay.
On that note, we're going to wrap up episode 21 of Dad's on Wrestling. What do you guys think? Hit us up on the YouTube, hit us up on our Facebooks.
Hit us up on the Dad's Facebook.
Let us know what you think. Who is the greatest wrestler to have never been world champion? I'm the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams.
I'm Mr. TW Jeff Meacham, and we will
see you next time.